Peace Council urges calm in Boko and its environs as Inspector General of Police continues its tour of the area days after violent clashes.
We have details as Public Utilities Regulatory Commission justifies upward adjustment in tariffs, insisting it considered current economic conditions.
And much later, private business schools struggling to survive as they blame quota policy implemented in favor of public schools as the cause.
Welcome to the bulletin. In our first story, the IGP has kicked off with the day 2 activities of his tour of the Upper East region. Well, today the police chief is expected to touch base with officers and men of the service in Pusiga and Garu. The IGP on his way made a brief stop at the Security Resilience and Peace Building Training and Educational Center in Nangode, where he took briefings from the Upper East Region Police Commissioner, DCOP Raymond Wegong Adofiem. Well, our Upper East correspondent Castro Senyola is traveling with the IGP and joins us with more details on really what's happening there. Castro, can you tell us how has the engagement been so far?
Right, so the Inspector General of Police has kicked off his tour of the region, and this is the second day. This morning he started off with a visit to the police training school at Nangodi, where he engaged the leadership there, management there, and also got some briefings from the Upper East Regional Police Commander, DCOP Raymond Adofiem, who told him a lot about what the police intend to do with the training center going forward to help in dealing with the situation as far as the Boko conflict is concerned. As we speak now, we are currently in Pusiga, where he's also been speaking to some of the police personnel. As you see directly behind me, we are in Pusiga. You can see a lot of the police vehicles and military vehicles there. He's been speaking to police personnel here, engaging them and telling them the need to stay strong in this period. He assured the police personnel that the police authority would also do what they can to make sure they are comfortable. He talks of the provision of a lot more body armors, a lot more armored vehicles, and all the necessary things that would allow them to perform their duties lawfully. He also talks of the need for them to take care of themselves and to be as neutral as possible, not to worsen the situation as they've been accused several times by the two factions within the Boko area. And so we continue with him. From here, we understand that he's expected to visit the Garu police station, where he would also touch base with officers there and speak to them and find out what their challenges are, and then, boost their morale, because the attacks on the police facilities, we gather, has really affected the morale of the men, and that is why the IGP is taking his time to go around, these places where he thinks it's important to visit them, so that he is able to encourage them and keep them on their feet.
The IGP has been speaking. Let's take a listen.
We have been informed that there has been absolute peace throughout the night. We want this to continue. And then the President, the Interior Minister, the Defense Minister, they are all watching and listening carefully. And then at the appropriate time, a delegation will also come to visit Boko. All the Ghanaians want to say is that Boko should be in peace. Boko should come back to its past glories. For the time when everybody wants to come to Boko, that glory should come back so that we can come back to Boko and then enjoy the atmosphere that has been there in the past. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Well, Castro, we know that yesterday, for instance, the IGP was meeting traditional leaders, but particularly the Bokuna. But really, what were the response of these traditional chiefs?
Right. Before I go there, let me also add that the IGP also paid a visit to some of the injured civilians who, suffered injuries in the recent attacks with the security, confrontation with the security agencies. He visited 8 of them at the Vineyard Hospital in Boko, where he's been assuring the police support for them and also encouraging the families to take care of the sick. He also once again, renewed his calls for the youth to lay down their arms and allow peace to prevail. The youth on their side, led by David Adoliba, who speaks for the Bokuna, but also assured that they will do whatever it is within their means to ensure that the youth lay down their arms and allow for peace talks or peace negotiation talks. Now, talking about what the IGP said there and what the traditional authority said, their position was very simple. They said that they felt that it was important to keep a distance because it appears that whenever the two factions mingle at one common place, which is the market, usually they record incidents of attacks. And so the Kusok traditional area said it decided to take a decision and gave out a directive that nobody who is in the other faction should come to their market. And it wasn't because they didn't want to mingle with them, but they didn't want to have a situation whereby when they come in, there will be issues. And they said it was unfortunate that the police didn't understand, or the security agencies didn't understand why they gave that directive. And when they tried to enforce it, it led to a scuffle, which resulted in the death of a key member of the youth, the Kusok the Kusok youth here, and also the injury of others. They also made the point clear that they want the IGP and the government as a whole to see how best they can, arrest the other chief in the town. They said the presence of the chief was creating a whole lot of tension. And if government and the IGP and other security agencies are able to take him out, it will help bring the situation under control. They also spoke of the fact that there was the need for some cleansing to be done before they could, go further with their peace talks. They argued that in their tradition, when somebody is killed, it is important to perform some rites that would seek to clean or cleanse the blood. That hasn't been done. And so if government and the security agencies continue to talk about the need for peace, they should put at the back of their mind that it's important for them to cleanse, perform some rituals to cleanse the town before peace negotiation talks can begin. Other than that, they may not be, doing the right thing without doing all of these things. They made a lot of calls, including asking for the IGP to transfer all the police commanders, especially those within the Boku area, the Boku enclave, the Kusok traditional area. We have the Boku, commander and all the other commanders within the Boku Kusok area. They asked that the IGP transfer them, including the Upper East Regional Police Commander. On his side, the IGP said he has heard their concerns, he has taken note of them. He said he will work on them and will also institute an investigation as they've called into the recent incident that led to the death of the man. And whatever it is, he'll let them know. He continued to press on them to let peace come in, to ceasefire, as government and other stakeholders engage to find a lasting solution to this conflict that is taking away a lot of lives and destroying properties.
Right, let's listen to him.
With us here. He came yesterday to meet the overlord of Kusok and his chiefs. This morning he decided to come and also visit those that were injured. He has equally sent a message to the bereaved. We have seen everything he has done, and we are so grateful for his coming. This is the kind of leaders we want as far as our country is concerned. So we are so grateful, IGP. God bless you for coming, and may God give you traveling mercies as you go back to Accra.
Right, many thanks for your time. Castro Senala is Upper East Regional Correspondent, bringing us details of the IGP's visit in the region. But we're going to stay on this particular issue because the National Peace Council is meanwhile urging all feuding factions to become and give peace a chance. Dr. George Amo is the Executive Secretary of the National Peace Council in Ghana. He joins us via Zoom with more details on that. Good afternoon, sir. Now, first, what does the council make of the recent event, particularly given that it appears to be a standoff between the youth and the police?
So thank you very much. It is a disturbing news because Boku has been with us for a number of years. Indeed, when I joined the Peace Council in 2013, Boku was one of the first places I had to visit as the head of the Conflicts Management and Resolution Department. So it is of huge concern to us. If you take Alabama in Konya, which was very, 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 worrying conflict Boku was the other. And Alabanyo and Konya now, we have some calmness there. We believe that calmness would endure and peace would be sustained there. But Boku has not given us that space as we wish. So it's of much concern. That is why we together with our partners set up what we call the Inter-Party Advisory, the Boku Inter-Party Committee, which was supposed to be a kind of an insider mediation, that brought together people from all the sides in the conflict, to find solutions themselves with the support of, outsiders. So it is a worrying situation to us. And our prayer is that we will give peace a chance, because there cannot be development in an environment where violence, is taking place. It cannot happen. And all of us need development, whether youth, security, or any other citizen for that matter. So we are calling upon all the factions, particularly our youth, to whom the future of this country is with them. We want them to exercise maximum restraint, because some of us who are elderly, in the near future, our time will be off and they will come to the stage. And therefore, they lose more if Boku, for example, or the country, it gets into unfortunate incidents like what we have witnessed of late.
Well, aside the general call for them to give peace a chance, what exactly is the role that the Peace Council is playing in this?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm happy the Otumfuo committee, mediation committee, is back, working to ensure peace is restored. But those of us, if you want to use mechanisms like mediation, dialogue, etc., you would need to have an environment that is supportive of that process. And that is why it's important there is calm first. Because I can tell you, however skillful and the influence of Otumfuo holds, if the environment doesn't lend itself to calmness, it is difficult for mediation to take place. So what Peace Council we are doing, our regional office is doing a lot in terms of psychosocial, healing, because I can tell you, my sister, quite a number of people there are in trouble. Some of them have really gone through psychological difficulties because we've seen people being killed openly. So we are doing that together with our key actors and partners. We are also, the tool of the Boku Inter-Ethnic Peace Committee is still relevant to us. So the Otumfuo committee, we will lend all the support we have to them. But we would also think that people from within are the best place to ensure that we get out of this unfortunate, intractable conflict, protracted conflict. So we are going to seek support. Indeed, government is already, we're in talks with government to see how we can revive the Inter-Ethnic Peace Committee, because that has 10 from the Mampusis, 10 from the Kusasis. Then the remaining 10 members are drawn from the minority tribes in the area, like Bisas, like the Gumbas, and also partners like the Peace Council, and we would want to lend support, our advice to the RECSEC, to the Municipal Chief Executive. We have been doing this all this while, to the Ghana Armed Forces. We work closely with them, and the Ghana Police Service. So I think together, and I want to appeal to the media, let us have an end in mind in this conflict. The end we want to see. Yes, my sister.
You've spoken about lending psychological support, supporting the Peace Committee as well as RECSEC. How different are these from the past efforts that the Peace Council has made, given that this particular conflict has raged on for a while?
You see, my sister, what we haven't done well is sustaining the momentum when we begin. whenever there is relapse, we are quick. And when there's calmness, we relax. So I think that this time round, all of us must make Boku our place of concern and pump money not into only the kinetic in terms of sending the military, the police, etc., but also build trust. Because my sister, I can tell you, if I don't trust you, I will laugh when you are speaking, I will nod when you are speaking. Your body language would speak some other things to me. Right. See, so I think we have to spend resources in mending broken relationship between the two factions. Very, very important. Well, if we're able to do that very well, I can tell you, people would be resilient and would resist any effort by any person, whether they are conflict entrepreneurs or they are insurgents from anywhere, to maintain the peace. And I think that, Media General, you have a huge outlet. Let us make this one of the projects for this year. Let us consistently follow up on Boku.
Right. Many thanks for your time, Dr. Amo. It's a matter of keeping faith to us. We understand. Many thanks for your time. Dr. Amo is the Executive Secretary for the National Peace Council. He has been talking about basically the conflict that has arisen in Boku and the Upper East region in general. More stories.
And now let's shift to a development that is of great concern to every Ghanaian, as we are heavy consumers of water and electricity. And now the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC, has justified the upward adjustment of tariffs, pointing out it could have been more if not for the current economic difficulties. It also says it was necessary to ensure that the utility companies are well capitalized. And now let's walk you through the tariff adjustment as announced by the PURC and the justification provided. As you can see, water has been adjusted by, has actually gone up by 14.75% and water by 4.02%. So according to the PURC, a total payment of the outstanding revenues from the previous quarters would have resulted in much higher increase in both electricity and water tariffs. And so this is the justification they are providing. And also the Commission, being mindful of the current economic difficulties for Ghanaians, decided to recoup only half of the outstanding debts. Furthermore, this has also always been the careful balancing act the Commission has had to minimize the impact of tariff increases on livelihoods while ensuring that utilities are well capitalized to keep the lights on. Well, let's still march longer on this and let's engage Dr. Kofi Obute, who's the Director of Research and Corporate Affairs at PURC. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for joining us. And first, we understand the utility companies had basically asked for an upward adjustment. Is the announced rate enough to ensure that they make any good returns?
Hello, good afternoon, and thank you for having me on the show. If I got you right, you said the utility companies were asking for an adjustment. Is that what you said?
Exactly the case. Is that what we provided, is it enough for them to thrive or stay afloat?
No, what we do is normally is at the PURC, there are two tariff windows. There's a major tariff and then there's a minor tariff. In the case of a major tariff, the utility service providers present to us proposals, which we scrutinize. And in that case, we look at both the capital expenditure and the operational expenses. Under a minor tariff review, which is what we just did, we do that on a quarterly basis. And that we only take care of the operational expenses. We don't look at the capital expenses. And we only look at four variables in that particular case. The exchange rate, the variation in the exchange rate, the inflation, the changes in inflation, the generation mix between thermal and the hydro generation, as well as the fuel cost. So those are the things which necessitated the move in this particular tariff, as well as a clawback of 50% of an outstanding debt of 976 million, which was carried over from the previous quarters.
But we've had consumers raise concerns about this increase. We get the sense from your statement that this could have been more. Explain why this is so.
Well, it could have been more because, you see, if we had not considered the outstanding debt and we only looked at exactly what is to be given to the consumers, given the parameters I mentioned, we we would have had a 6.52% increase. But taking 50% of the 976 million, which is outstanding, which the utility service providers actually need, that came up with about 8.52%. Now, if you add the 8.52 to about the 6.52, that gives about the 14.75% that we are getting. All right. Now, if the commissioners in their wisdom think that, look, if we are supposed to push through all the 976 million outstanding debt, that would be too much for consumers to bear. That would have taken the tariff beyond 20%. So in the wisdom of the commissioners, let's do only half of the outstanding debt. And then in the next 50%, we spread it throughout the rest of the year. So that's exactly what the commissioners took into consideration.
Doug, how well is the Commission addressing concerns of consumers where they say they are paying more than they are using? And how have you addressed these concerns over the past few months?
The consumers, could you go over that one? I didn't quite get that one.
So consumers are also saying that they are paying more than what they are earning. And so how well are you addressing their concerns?
Well, you see, on the board of the PURC, we do have representatives of the labor unions. When it comes to issues of income, the PURC has no jurisdiction over that. The PURC's mandate stretches only up to the tariffs and the quality of service that we do. So we only take into consideration the fact that what the TUC brings on board, and we consider, just as I told you, the commissioners in their wisdom think that we cannot push through everything that is outstanding. So we only do part of it and stagger the rest of that. So that is how best the commission has taken into consideration the livelihoods and the economic situations of consumers.
Thank you so much, Doc. Dr. Eric Kofi-Obute is the Director of Research and Corporate Affairs at PURC, where they've announced tariff adjustment of 14.75% for electricity and 4.02% for water. We'll stay longer on this very development, finish with the update in our subsequent bulletins. Let's still stay on this. And the African Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, meanwhile says government must focus on making the utility sector players more efficient since tariff adjustments over the years has not resolved this.
Anytime we have adjusted the tariff, the trend shows that you have more, inefficiency creeping in because you have a lot more, dropping into the illegal equation. So you have people becoming illegal consumers, and we don't have the systems to actually track them down. So it becomes counterproductive to keep adjusting the tariff and not do the other things that are relevant. That is, improving efficiency in the infrastructure and making sure anybody consuming power actually pays. So over time, we have been increasing the burden on the few who are responsible and paying their bills. Right? So if you are a responsible customer and you keep paying your bills, then you get the increments and its effect. And those who are stealing the power, don't even care whether you increase it or not. And that for me is the difficulty. How we have been irresponsible over time, mismanaged the entire power system, and allowing people to consume power illegally. And that doesn't appear to be the focus of those who manage the power system. And we keep increasing the tariff, and we are not addressing the inefficiencies in the power sector. And that for me is the difficulty. And we need to holistically assess how the energy sector is governed, so that we are not just increasing the tariff on those who are.
Now, away from utility tariffs, effective June this year, road projects and the government's $10 billion Big Push agenda will commence to add to President Mahama's infrastructure drive. Now, a major priority for the president is the over 200-kilometer stretch from Wa in the Upper West region to Bolga in the Upper East region. The Road Minister Kwame Gavin Saboja, inspecting the road, says the harrowing experience of farmers and market women will be a thing of the past after as priority will be given to the Big Push agenda projects. We're going to take a short break. When we are back, we'll bring you that very story. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're also watching Weekend Central. Effective June this year, road projects and the government's $10 billion Big Push agenda will commence to add to the President Mahama's infrastructure drive. Now, a major priority for the President is the over 200-kilometer stretch from Wa in the Upper West region to Bolga in the Upper East region. Roads Minister Kwame Gavin Saboja, inspecting the road, says the hiring experience of farmers and market women will be a thing of the past, as priority will be given to the Big Push agenda projects.
This is a daily routine for us. Grains from our farms often get lost in transit to the market centers. All we desire is for the government to just construct this road.
Before he left office, and now he's going to finish it. We are not going to leave this road like another promise. We're going to do it. Yes. Prior to the exit of NDC in 2016, work was going on this stretch. Unfortunately, since we left, they rather introduced more contractors and less work was done. So I can guarantee President Mahama's vision is that under the Big Push, believe me, this will be done. And we are committed to this. Before he leaves office, this work will be done. We are committed to it. If you live in Accra and Kumasi, you will think that a broken crash barrier is the biggest problem. But when you come to all the way from Wa to Bolga, this is what people have to endure. I mean, look at the ladies, look at what they are doing. It will, obviously, without doing this road, it will increase poverty in the area. So doing this road is not even political. It's just the way to lift the rest of our people out of poverty. I mean, if people grow, things around here, how are they even supposed to take it to we, the consumers in the southern part of the country, and yet we complain about the prices? So I think this is a very sad thing. When we say Big Push infrastructure project, people thought we are joking. From May, you will see that some of the projects will start coming, and this is a very prioritized part of the Big Push. We are going to do.
I am sure the President has indicated on many fora that the Sisala land does not only serve as a food basket for the region, it serves as a food basket for the country. And clearly evidence abounds, and even the grains that come from here, the quality alone is not for the country, it's for the globe. So it is a commitment that I am sure the President will live up to. And the Sisala people have that kind of belief and conviction that President John Dramani Mahama, through his Minister of Road, that we've seen the example in the West, are more touching. This problem will be solved for us.
You're still watching Weekend Central here on TV3. In more news this afternoon, private basic schools account for 49% of education establishments and 33% of all enrollments at the pre-tertiary level in Ghana. Yet many of them are struggling to survive in the sector as government's 30% quota to public schools continues to affect them. The Ghana National Council of Private Schools has threatened to take the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice for failing to act on their petition on the subject matter last year. Here's a report by Sarah Apankro.
Private basic schools in Ghana play a vital role in the country's education system, especially in areas where access to public education is limited. However, in recent years, many of these private schools have collapsed due to declining enrollment. Government's 30% quota system, which reserves a portion of senior high school admissions exclusively for students from public basic schools, has been criticized by private school operators. The quota policy, according to private school operators, gives public schools an unfair advantage. Ransford Jeche is proprietor of Supreme Care Edu Complex.
This placement thing, the government gives 30% quota for the government school. Because of that, parents think that, well, then when the time comes, I should move my children so that they also go and enjoy that thing there. And it's also impacting us badly. When we train them from crèche to JSS2, you see them moving towards the place. So our numbers keep dwindling. Initially, we had about over 600 children here, but they have reduced it to about 400 and something.
The Ghana National Council of Private Schools, NACOPS, last year petitioned the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice, calling the quota policy discriminatory and illegal. NACOPS Executive Director Enoch Jitua says Shraj has failed to act, adding members are frustrated by the delay.
We have not been seeing positive signs from Shraj. So we have written a letter to Shraj indicating that we don't want to believe that they side with the government to compromise their mandates. And for that matter, if they fail to respond to our letters based on their own regulations, we will take them on together with the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service. We are not going to budge from any kind of intimidation or any form of manipulation. We will ensure that by the end of the day, such a medical policy which has come to rid of the progress of private education will be scrapped from the system.
Organizations like Opportunity International EduFinance are stepping in to provide financial support, helping some private schools recover and remain relevant.
From all statistics, about 60% of children are not having access to quality education in the world, and in Ghana it's even more than that. So we need to create the environment that private schools will have access to funding so that we'll have quality access to education for our kids.
In line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 4, which aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education, stakeholders say there is an urgent need to protect and support all actors in the education sector. Sarah Apenkro, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, children in Afranse, a remote farming community in the Shama municipality, are forced to delay education due to absence of a school in the community. The plight is compounded by a deteriorating road network that leaves the village isolated, especially during the rainy season, making access to neighboring communities and essential services nearly impossible. A report by Stephen Kujo.
Stated in Goal 4 of the Sustainable Developmental Goals, every child has the right to free, equitable, and quality basic and secondary education. But for children in Afranse, a remote farming community in the Shama municipality, a free and equitable education remains a dream. Despite having a sizable number of school-age children, the community has no school. With no school in Afranse, children as young as 5 years stay home and often wait until age 10 before they take their first step in a classroom.
At age 2, a child should start schooling, but this is not so in this community because we don't have school here, and mostly they have to journey to people, so they have to delay till they turn age 10 before they start school. This is very worrying to we parents here. The road to the community too is very bad.
During rainy season, conveying farm produce to market becomes a difficulty, as the already deplorable road deteriorates even further. Not only do children struggle, pregnant mothers also face significant barriers accessing healthcare.
And this one, I quite remember during some rainy season, and we can see our road too is also not in good shape. And we have a pregnant lady who have just delivered or at the point of delivery. So they were trying to call me, they were not getting me. So they called some of the Aboboya and so on. So they were just trying to bypass, of which maybe he has already given birth. But the placenta, the coming of the placenta has also become a problem. So they wanted to send her to a CHIP compound at Peposo. And on the way, the newborn baby just fell in the water. And you can see how difficult are these people going through.
The assembly member for the community recounted effort to secure a school building for the community, noting that they are still in the wait for the confirmation of the president nominee for the municipality. In the meantime, he is leading a community self-help campaign to address the issue.
I'll about to launch a program of donate for people, so that when we get some fund, maybe we can construct some few 2 classroom blocks so that the people will have KG1, KG2, so that maybe they can have access to school. You can see people at the age of maybe 7 years, 8 years, before they will start attending to a KG. In fact, you have delayed them a lot. And when you go to the bigger cities, a child that's maybe KG1 or 1 year, or you can speak fluent English, and you cannot compare to these people. So it means they are not even part of the country, and they are not.
For these children, delay is not denial, exhibiting desire to be educated, calling on authorities to construct a school edifice for them. Stephen Kujo, reporting for TV3 News, Afranse, Western Region.
Well, let's know what you make of the educational challenges at Afranse here, and engage us with that comments and opinions. We are live on Facebook, TV3 Ghana, and we read them and share them to the rest of the world. Still on education, over 800 female boarding students of the Goma Senior High Technical School in the Central Region share a 5-seater toilet facility. Their dormitories are also overcrowded, leading to the rapid spread of diseases. These, among other challenges, similar to those in 5 other senior high schools in the Goma West District, are slowing down academic progress. There's more in the following report.
The Gomwa Senior High Technical School, located at the Rampong in the Gomwa West District of the Central Region, has not had any significant addition to its infrastructure since its establishment in 1991. Some projects that were initiated as far back as 2013 have stagnated. Key among these projects are administration block and dormitories for boys and girls. Apart from congestion at the girls' dormitory, washroom facilities available are woefully inadequate, as the over 800 girls share a 5-seater washroom facility. The spread of infections, according to authorities, is always uncontrollable.
Recently, I'm the only house mistress living on campus for over 800 girls. Most of our girls are without beds. They sleep on the floor, they sleep on trunks and chop boxes, and we are over congested. We do have some outbreak of certain sicknesses and diseases such as typhoid. Sometimes we also have even common cough. Then you will see it spreading because of our congestion. The comfortability is very low. Bleed of bed bags, all in the name of those congestions. This one is not officially handed over to us, but because of congestion, we have no option than to use the down floor. All the girls are using just one washroom with just 5 WC seated for all the girls within the boarding house.
The situation is not too different from the boys' dormitory.
Basically, each dormitory is to take a maximum of 24 students. But here lies the case, when you come to the various dormitories, we have more than 50 students accommodated in a single dormitory. So the situation is highly unbearable for management of the school. And that has necessitated the school in its own wisdom to come out with this particular structure. When you come, the way the students are slept in the room or living in the room, we have given the name Sardine Dome because of how sardines are packed. We also do not have a toilet facility.
Students say this and other challenges are affecting their welfare and, by extension, their academic activities.
We need a lot of chairs. Sometimes you go to some classes, some students perch, which makes the academic work very difficult. Most building construction students, we don't do practicals because we do not have the materials.
Actually, the science block has only 2 classrooms. If I'm made to make all the Form 1s, Form 2s, and Form 3 come to school, there won't be any classroom for any of them.
With no adequate accommodation for teachers, only 6 out of the 105 teaching staff reside on campus. The headmaster and all other teachers reside in adjoining communities such as Swedro and Ankamu, making effective supervision virtually impossible. George Okran, headmaster of the school, pleaded for intervention from government and benevolent entities.
We are managing them though, but we still pray that the government will come to our aid and complete the the stored project for us. We are about 150 staff, but only 6 teachers are on campus.
Traditional authorities of the Rampong are already feeling disappointed over the seeming neglect of the school, which was established in 1991 and currently holds a population of 3,061.
Since 1991, the project to be recorded school had no huma bayana project no akansinsin. Admission blog ya akaho. Sabi baby amofrano wabaya wo huye. Achechre for wo school ha over 150. No more sus no what school ha wash amofrano.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Education Service says the lack of adequate infrastructure and other challenges is not peculiar to the Rampong SHTS. Chrissy Davis, coordinator for senior high school education in the Gomoa West District, told TV3 News that all other 5 senior high schools in the district are facing similar challenges requiring immediate intervention.
But I know previous speakers have spoken about the challenges in the school. It's not too different from what we have in Mozano and then college. In fact, the truth is that college, I wish the team will visit there. They have major challenges.
For TV3 News, I am Akwesi Ado, Gomoa Senior High Technical School, the Rampong.
Now, away from education, residents of Sunyani are optimistic about a new era of development following the confirmation of the newly appointed Municipal Chief Executive, Vincent Enchieje. The MCE, who received a 100% endorsement from Assembly members, has pledged to prioritize the progress of the municipality. A report by Claude Kumi Ebisa.
The people of Sunyani have high expectations as the newly confirmed MC Vincent Enchieje vows to spearhead transformative projects in the municipality. Vincent Enchieje, who enjoyed unanimous approval from the assembly members, assured residents of his commitment to development, job creation and improved infrastructure.
I'm promising the whole Sunyani municipality today that we are coming to work and work very hard to ensure that Sunyani progresses, to ensure that Sunyani gets the needed development that we have to. And I promise you that together with my regional minister, Honorable Jesse Akpabwa, my MP, and the assembly put together, Nanano, we will work to ensure that Sunyani gets the needed upliftment that we have all paid for.
Adding his voice, the Member of Parliament for Sunyani East, Said Mubarak, assured residents of an all-inclusive governance approach, transcending political affiliations.
Since 92,
we have presented candidates since 1992, but with no positive results. The massive vote I garnered in the elections indicates that the people of Sunyani voted for me and not a political party. Therefore, I'm going to work to ensure development in Sunyani without discrimination. Residents who spoke to TV3 expressed optimism, urging the new MC to address pressing issues such as sanitation, road networks, and youth employment.
God being so good, he has gotten 100% endorsement of the assembly elections or assembly confirmation. And we expect that with the vision of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the MC is going to follow suit with his own vision together in tandem to work to bring to uplift the image of Sunyani municipality. I expect that as an MC that has been confirmed today, is going to assist the Sunyani Municipal Assembly so that the municipal will grow. Now we have our regional minister in place. We only needed the MC to come and support the regional minister so that whatever the president John Dramani Mahama promised Ghanaians and the people of Sunyani will materialize.
As a youth, we were expecting to get someone who would listen to our cry, and now we thank God that we've gotten somebody. We want him to take Sunyani to its past glory, which is improving sanitation, our lighting system, among others, so that Sunyani will become a better place as before. As Sunyani awaits the promised transformation, residents remain hopeful that the new leadership will bring the needed change. Claude Kumi Ebisa, TV3 News, Sunyani.
Move to the Eastern region as a joint security task force has launched a coordinated operation in the Eastern region to clamp down on illegal and irresponsible mining activities that continue to threaten the environment and local communities. The task force has conducted operations in 5 districts targeting areas notorious for illegal mining. The operation is part of a broader strategy to restore environmental integrity, protect water bodies, and uphold the rule of law in affected communities. The head of the Eastern Regional Security Council, RECSEC, Reta Eje Awate, has issued a strong warning to illegal miners, declaring that they will be relentlessly pursued and brought to justice.
Service. We want to appreciate the work you have been doing with us for the past days, and it has been so marvelous. This morning, we are saying that Eastern region is grateful and Ghana is grateful. Why are we here this morning? Because we can't have safe environments. Why are we here this morning? Because we can't get clean water to drink. Why are we here this morning? Because children are dying, falling into pits and dying. We are saying that the President of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has said that our waters should be clean, our environment should be clean, and this is what we are here for. We want to tell the people of the Eastern region and the people of Ghana that we are ready. We are combating. They should get ready for our men. Our men are on the land. They are not living until we end illegal mining. What are we telling the people of the East? We are saying that these excavators are here because they are doing the wrong thing. We are pursuing illegal minings and we are following the rules that the nation has put down. Whoever is doing the wrong thing, know that our men are following you. Thank you this morning and bless you. We are saying that Eastern region shall be cleared of all illegal mining until they are cleared of our men are not living.
Now, miners are urging government to expedite processes towards granting mining licenses side by side the introduction of the Gold Board to effectively monitor mining activities and reduce illegalities in the mining sector. Now, according to the Hard Rock Miners Association, the delay in license acquisition is a major factor which causes miners to engage in illegal mining activities, causing a massive distraction to the environment.
The government of Ghana, through an act of parliament, has set up the Ghana Gold Board to oversee gold transactions and accumulate foreign exchange to stabilize the cedi. It is also envisaged that illegal mining activities, which have caused a massive destruction to Ghana's forests, river bodies, and large hectares of arable lands, will be controlled through effective operations of the Gold Board. While the policy has received a mixed reaction from stakeholders amid skepticism about the core mandates of the board, the Ghana Hard Rock Miners Association strongly holds that the establishment of the Gold Board is a necessary intervention. Determined to mine for gold outside forest reserves and water bodies, the Hard Rock Miners Association of Ghana, during a media engagement, pledged their unflinching support for this governmental initiative.
We believe that hard rock mining holds the key to Ghana's economic growth and development, and we are eager to collaborate with the Ghana Gold Board to make this vision a reality. Our mission is very simple and very clear. We are going to promote sustainable mining practices. We will work tirelessly with the Gold Board to develop policies that support small-scale mining and empower industry players. Differentiate hard rock mining. We will educate the public and stakeholders on the benefit of hard rock mining, dispelling misconceptions and promoting a positive image of our industry. We will collaborate with the Gold Board and statutory bodies to restore sustainable mining practices and contribute to the growth of Ghana's national economy through traceability and trackability of gold. Here, the traceability and trackability is more important in Ghana gold development, so far as Gold Board is concerned. we are excited to partner with the Gold Board and other stakeholders to achieve our shared goals. Together, we can create a brighter future for Ghana's mining sector and our nation as a whole.
Meanwhile, the association has attributed the widespread illegal activities in the mining sector, which are dangerous to the environment, to the delay in granting licenses. Dr. Chumbarima Okofrobo, president of the Ghana Hard Rock Miners Association, told TV3 News that an effective and expedite licensing regime would be needed to tackle illegal mining, other than the usual tactic of waging a direct combat against miners.
We have gone so far. When we started with a system where scatter, when we were young guys, when I was about 15, we were going to mine. And there was a scatter. The government brought a system where soldiers will come to the side chasing people. Some fall into the pit. Some of the soldiers got injured. Police were dying from that incident. So promulgation of the mining law stopped that system. And the small-scale mining law was introduced. It helped us to a certain level. We formed the small-scale mining association, brought it to a certain level. Now, you know the reason why the illegal mining has come out so much is because the land which was demarcated for small-scale mining activity has finished. And some government comes in changing the rules, but now the law. They are not changing the law. They adopted some rules to hijack small-scale mining activities. So government stopping giving licenses or signing licenses will lead to, I don't know what will lead to.
For TV3 News, I am Akwesi Ado, Central Region, Kaswa.
Let's still stay on issues relating to illegal mining as a joint operation by the Western Naval Command, Takoradi Air Force and Western Central Command of the Ghana Police Service, TACWA, has resulted in the seizure of 5 excavators and the destruction of 8 giant pumping machines in the Western region. The equipment were used in illegal mining activities along the Bonsa River. Irma Smith has more.
Despite government efforts to combat illegal mining, the activities continue to increase, particularly in water bodies and forest reserves. The Takwa and Soye municipality's sole water source, which supplies thousands of gallons to Takwa and surrounding communities, has been forced to shut down due to illegal mining operations. Several acres of farmland and cocoa farms along the Bonsa River at Bonsare and Esuso have been destroyed in the search for gold. On Thursday, April 10, a joint security operation was conducted against illegal miners in Esuso, Bonsare and Bonsa. The operation, involving personnel from the Western Naval Command, the Takoradi Air Force, and the Western Central Command of the Ghana Police Service, resulted in the seizure of 5 excavators, confiscation of 1 tricycle and 1 motorcycle, and the destruction of 8 giant pumping machines. The National Security Liaison Officer for the Western Region, Brigadier General Musa Waja, retired, who led the operations, assured the residents of Takwa and its adjoining communities that the security services are ready to rescue the Bonsa River from illegal miners.
In keeping with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama initiative, Blue River Initiative, the Regional Minister, Honorable Joseph Nelson, instructed RESEC, the Regional Security Council, to ensure that all illegal miners are evicted along the Bonsa River. And I want to assure the good people of Takwa that the Bonsa River will be rescued, and there is no way we are allowed these illegal miners to operate again.
Gershon Ashawa's farmland has been destroyed by illegal mining activities.
Well, let's know what you make of the efforts by the Mahama-led administration in the fight against Galamsey. We are active on Facebook, TV3 Ghana. Engage us now. But that's how we wrap up today's edition of Weekend Central. I come to you live from the news hub here at Adisawe Kanda. My name is Josh Queening.
And I am Judith Brown. A pleasure coming to you always. Have a good afternoon.
Good afternoon.